Hello everyone, it's OmenEnraged here, and this time, well, you're probably all asking, where have I been? What have I been doing? Why have I not been uploading as long? Well, I'm going to get into the details right now, and what's going on with me, etc, etc. Whilst there's going to be some Ace Tanker gameplay going on, at least one or two replays, but I'm not going to be commentating over them. I'm going to be explaining a couple of things, what I'm doing in PC WOT Tanks, etc, and why I'm not playing WOT Tanks console anymore, which is the game I used to play. So I'm going to go over a couple of things within this video. So, where to start? Where to start? And I think it's quite simple. How long, really, you would ask, how long have I been playing WOT Tanks for in general? Regardless of what platform. So I've been playing for about at least 8 years. Just over 8 years. I played console WOT Tanks for about up until 2020. It was released back in 2014, February. So my jump to PC was quite a hard. It was not an easy decision. It was a hard decision to make. But let's just say it was after a certain point with console tank. So what happened was, well, there was an update called 6.0. That's what happened. But I'm going to explain it a bit more. So back in late December, late 2020 is when 6.0 was released. Now, me and my own community members from my own stream on Discord were pretty pleased and hyped up for what was to come. But not all was it was as seemed. See, the day afterwards, after all that hype that had been built up, it was kind of all for nothing, really. And it was pretty disappointing when I tested stuff out and went to the game, and a lot of people were kind of felt the same way as I did. And basically what happened was, the developers changed way too much of the game. They didn't keep the core aspects pretty simple. They changed a lot of things. Basically, it's too much change that they did. And a lot of us were not happy with that too much change. They changed the way crews were working. Obviously, they added new equipment, which I didn't have a problem in that. But they just changed a lot of the elements. Now, there were some elements within it that I didn't mind that they had to change. Mainly just the HUD elements. But when this 6.0 update was first out, it was shocking. It was honestly that bad. 90% of the community hated the update, including me. So that's how bad it was. So over the course of the months up until like February and March, nothing really changed. With that, obviously they're just making bug fixes and whatnot. But it didn't appeal to me anymore. The game stopped feeling enjoyable. It just didn't feel the same, and I was not happy. So over the course of the months, I had to think about a decision that I wanted to make, and which was to jump to PC WOT Tanks and stay on the PC platform. So, of course, around the March time, it was when the first instance of Cold War was introduced. Now, Cold War is another game mode in console tanks which introduced modern tanks. Obviously, it meant more grinding, having to grind for them, which I wouldn't mind doing, but let's just say the developers for that game, they were not really clued up. Basically, their idiotic decisions kind of pushed me away from the game with all kinds of other problems. So, back to the March time after I tested Cold War, I still felt dissatisfied. I was feeling bored. The game had turned generic for me. So I had to make a decision at that point. And I had to I had no other choice. My mental health was deteriorating. I was not in a good place. My head was completely pounding. So I just thought, you know what? I put my hand over my eyes and I just quit. I just walked out. And I told everyone that I'd walk out. So I ended up moving over to PC World of Tanks. Eventually. And then a few months down the line, up to August, Console Tanks didn't still stay the same. Now, I thought I wanted to go back because I thought only a few months would be completely fine having a break from it. But then I heard the news that they were changing the Mark of Excellence system. Now, I used to 3-mark tanks quite a lot at the time. I got into the knack of doing it, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I 3-marked a total of 130 vehicles before my departure, at least, during the time of me playing Console Tanks. And basically what they did was they changed the percentage values of marking. Mainly, all tiers did suffer, but high tiers suffered more than the low tiers, let's say. So, for example, you're playing an Object 438. You're in a top tier 10 assault medium tank, right? You farm 8,000 damage, okay? That'd be more than enough to be near a full percentage and going up, I'd assume. I'm near there. And with the new Mark of Excellence percentage system that they introduced, you get way less than that. You get, like, that would be just less than 0.5. Not 0.5% on marking. So yeah. That's what happened. So I just thought, well, I may as well stay away from it. They're changing goalposts all of a sudden. Then what's the point? Now, I'm not just entirely blaming the developers for the way their game has turned out to be, though they mainly are the problem. There's also another problem at large, and, well, basically, there's super testers. There's only 1 or 2 super testers that actually know what they're talking about, and the rest of them just probably don't even have a bloody clue what they're even on about, or hardly even play World of Tanks. And, well, I don't need to name names. I don't think naming names about that's necessary. Certainly isn't. That's what I feel like is the reality with the game. And the super testers. So, you're probably thinking, how on earth has 6.0 been out? So damn long. How has it come to this? And how has it even got through to live servers? Well, I'll tell you this. They don't have a test server on console. The only test server that they give it to is the super testers, not even their own players playing the game. And to be honest, I just thought, well, hang on a second here. That simply ain't good enough. If that players within the game can't test, it's not good enough. So really, Console Tanks has been kind of left in the dust for me. Nothing left for me there. Which now brings me to my next thing. So, PC World of Tanks. Now that I've spoke about all that you need to know about Console Tanks, now move over to PC. But before I do, if you're wondering what kind of player I was back in that game and progressing in PC, let's just say I was top player. I was top 200 in the world in console. I was a Super Unicorn player with 61% wins. I'm not really bragging about it, but I'm just giving you an insight to what kind of player I truly am. And what you're going to be kind of expecting in PC World of Tanks. Now, of course, it won't happen in an instant. Progression takes time. Slowly but surely, things will work out. So, as you've probably seen within the gameplay, you could probably tell, right, this player knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, he's not dummy thick. Now, I know it's probably not the most interesting gameplay you've seen here, because I'm in a hold down tank. Now, I know all about the hold down meta in PC. Trust me, I am very well aware. And if you ask me what do I think about the meta, well, boring and generic really. I much prefer playing the more faster tanks. The agile tanks, like Scouts, 100 LT, 13105, Leopard 1, E50, E50M, paper thin TDs as well, like Grill 15, let's say. Yard heavy TD like a Tortoise, or even a fast heavy that mainly isn't hold down. I mean, I do play hold down stuff from time to time, but whenever I get bored of it, I just put these kind of vehicles down. Anyway, so now that you probably know that I'm aware of that, and you probably going to be asked, but oh man, you're probably not aware of these other problems within the game. Trust me, I know. Now, problems that are related in PC water tanks, it's not as bad when you compare this with console. Console is a lot worse for that, trust me. So, now I'm going to talk about what you're going to be expecting on here. And not just gameplay-wise, but content-wise for my YouTube and my stream. And yes, I do stream. And if you want to be interested in finding my channel at some point and hitting me up with a follow or something, feel free. Just simply head over to twitch.tv/OmenEnraged. And that's where I will be most of my time. The only time I don't stream is within the Mondays. So just keep that in mind. So, this is my first game that you're seeing here. And I'm probably going to be putting on another replay as well whilst I'm still talking. Okay? Bear with me. Okay, so we are back with another replay, of course, whilst I'm still continuing on for what I've been saying, or what I've said. So let's get on with it. So, about what I said about what kind of content I would introduce towards my YouTube and my live stream. Well, I know how to do recorded replays and whatnot on here, and commentating over them, which that's fairly easy to do. That's not hard. But I feel like just doing that ain't really going to be enough. Like, the thing is I like being flexible with what I do. And what I mean by this, in terms of creating content, is I want to kind of introduce recorded stream gameplay as well. Things that are happening on the stream. Now, not just with excellent gameplay as well, maybe some rare moments throughout the stream, maybe, or throughout the streams, like epic wins or epic fails, or even rage compilations to create from this. So I've been thinking of wanting to do that, and I feel like it's ideal to be as flexible as it can be. That would probably be a pretty decent starting point for me on here. So really, what you're going to be expecting as well in PC water tanks from me is, I like to mark tanks. I will be marking tanks, as much tanks that I can mark as humanly as I possibly can. No matter what level of difficulty, I'm still going to manage. And at the moment, I've had a pretty decent start with marking vehicles. At the moment, but off to a good start. I've done a bit of low tiers, 1 or 2 or 3, 4 high tiers. But I just want to kind of get into the knack of doing it again. And trust me, I have not lost a step. From my console days, I have not lost a step at all. I can promise you that right now. So, there's not really much else to talk about. Can't really think of anything else I want to add or say. I could talk about like what I'm going to be doing for the next video whilst I'm still talking and still here. So I am very well aware that the 114 SP2 is going to be out soon. Now that obviously rank's completed, it'll take like a few days or so to a week for these rewards to be given out, and I'm already a contender for one of the rewards with the 114 SP2. And I think as well, another thing that they're introducing is a certain piece of bond equipment known as improved hardening. So I'm going to be trying to find some tanks that I want to put that piece of equipment on and create some kind of builds and let you know what I think of it, and etc. And I'll be doing the same thing with the 114 SP2, what I think of that eventually when I get my hands on it. I'm not sure when I'll have those videos out, but I can tell you that this is going to happen. This will be happening. So, as well, I am playing low tiers here. I don't just play high tiers. I do like a little bit of low tiers when high tiers gets too much and in my face. Let's say I'm having a bad day at high tiers and I would want to chill out and play some low tiers, then I usually go and do that. Usually playing high tiers, it can be pretty stressful at times. It can be good, but it can be stressful more than low tiers. I just can't believe how long it's been since I've uploaded to YouTube. I can't believe how long it's been. Been quite a few years. If you did want to know what happened about that, well, let's just say I got busy. Caught up with doing stuff. Because at the time I was studying at university, you see, so I barely had time to upload videos of console tanks gameplay. If you do want to see any console tank stuff, I have a couple of highlights and things of it on my own YouTube channel, which are my other videos, so feel free to check them out if you want to in your own time. As well, to add on, I'm not also just streaming on Twitch. I'm usually around my own Discord and my own Twitter, and if you are even interested in joining me and knowing what I'm all about, just simply, well, you can simply follow me on Twitter at OmenEnraged, or join my Discord server. Now, the way you get to a Discord server, obviously, it's the same as, well, it's not kind of the same as my name, it's a little bit different. But if you hit me up on, message me or hit me up if you want to join, and I'll give you the link to my site and you can join all the other community members that are within my Discord server as well. I'm pretty sure they'll have a lot of nice and interesting things they want to share about me. And not just me, but, you know, just things in general. So, now, I haven't got anything else to say. But what I will say is, keep in mind I will be uploading a bit frequently, at least once or twice a week on videos. I may do more, we'll just see. So, that's really all I have for this video. But other than that, thank you for watching this video, I appreciate it. If you tuned in well. I know I was talking a lot through over my gameplay, so it may not seem kind of aesthetically pleasing, but trust me, good things are going to be happening between my live stream and my YouTube. I can promise you that. So the next time I upload a video, well, what video I'll be doing, like I said, it may be 114 SP2 or the improved hardening when it comes out. When I get the equipment and the tank from the rank rewards. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found this entertaining and interesting. And I will see you next time. Peace out, chat. Take care. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.